Today's cards of the day are the Eight of Cups and Four of Discs. The Eight of Cups is called indolence and generally represents a period of turning your back on your emotions, emotional neglect, kind of turning away almost as a response to overindulging and getting sick or burned. If this was to do with, say, drinking, this would be like, getting way too hammered, getting sick, maybe even going to the hospital, and then deciding to go sober for a month. And that's cool and all, but if you actually like drinking, it's kind of an overcorrection. Then we got the Four of Discs, power, which is super cool sounding. But the Four of Discs is more about getting yourself established, getting your material surroundings just stable enough for you to start maybe taking some risks, making some moves, building up your little castle, or if, agriculture metaphors work really well for the disc or pentacle suit because, money and food, material things. So, this is where you fence off your farmland so varmints don't get in and immediately eat the seeds while you're planting them. Now, you're probably noticing these two on the sides here, so I decided to break them down into their corresponding pairs of trump cards. The Eight of Cups, if you cut it in half, becomes the moon and the universe. So how does this tie in? Well, we can hash that out here. The universe generally represents the world and stuff, time and space, the world that we live in and all that abstract stuff. But generally it can also represent the weight of that, the weight of reality encroaching on things. And the moon tends to be about delirium, dreaminess, illusions, things of that nature. It's also a Pisces card. No disrespect to any Pisces watching this. I love you all, send money. Anyway, so this is about reality sort of encroaching on your dreams to the point where you kind of have to wonder, is anything that I'm, dreaming wistfully about, any of my illusions about reality, is any of this worth it? Should I just be completely pragmatic? And yeah, but no, you shouldn't be totally pragmatic. But on the other hand, yeah, it totally pays off to be at least a little pragmatic. Hence the sun and the devil. So what do these got to do with each other? Well, God, I just love this devil card. It's so trippy. Well, I mentioned the sun before, but hey, this might be your first time seeing my cool self. So the sun represents the center of the solar system, the center of our lives, the center of our wake and sleep cycles, and generally the center of the personality, the center of who you are, the soul and all that. The devil is more about material things, contracts, bindings, time essentially being what binds us and such, obligation, instinct, our natures and stuff like that. So how do these reconcile? Well, maybe learn to identify with the parts of you that you're scared of, that you consider devilish and fiendish. Maybe learn to, put the devil in his place using the light of the sun. And you can establish yourself. I mean, the devil's not exactly the worst fella. It's not like he just comes out of nowhere and grabs you. Usually, the devil in any myth story, even devil archetypes that aren't necessarily Christian sources, they don't just show up out of nowhere, grab you, and take you to hell. They trick you into agreeing to go to hell. And it's not exactly impossible to outwit the devil at his own game. Or at the very least, learn something from him. Get something out of him, besides, a trip to hell. I don't know. Leave your thoughts in the comments. Message me if you want your own reading. I make my own spreads and stuff, so that's pretty cool.